Hello, welcome back to my channel. It is like 11:30 at night and it is so quiet, so I'm gonna try and be myself. Today I wanted to talk about a movement called Stolen People, Stolen Benefits. It is because there are over 200 Native Americans that are missing on Navajo Nation alone. Again, we don't know if that's an accurate number. I try to get the Navajo Times whenever I can. Lately, there's been a lot of missing people and families trying to get answers or any tips, information on their loved ones, and I swear it's like you see so many flyers outside stores taped to their windows and stuff, or flyers posted on bulletin boards at gas stations, laundromats. And the reason why this movement has started, it could be linked to MMIW. These recruiters are posing as advocates for behavioral health. So this is considered a crisis, and the FBI has stepped in to try and address this issue. They are talking about creating a master database where they have people's photos, age, gender, date of last contact, and basically whatever information that they can find, which is often 1 to 2 sentences. The goal of this database is to get people to come forward with any tips. There are issues with that, like the lack of technology around this area. The FBI is saying that this should not be a barrier. It's either the family won't talk or the family is waiting for answers. And where we live, there's no sidewalks, street lights, or crosswalks, anything like that. There are no exterior cameras for any buildings. There's a lot of abandoned buildings, addiction, substance abuse, alcoholism, and you can see how it's affecting the community. The attorney that represents Jamie Yazie's family, she also represents a total of 17 families. She is in support of the database that the FBI is trying to develop. I also believe there isn't adequate manpower to kind of monitor this database, updating it, and all that stuff. Another issue is a lot of families live 200 miles away from the nearest police station, and there are a few officers that cover the jurisdiction. So the response times aren't that great. By the time they get there, little to no information that they can get for the initial police report, so it affects the investigations, and it's obvious that more law enforcement are needed, a lot more training when it comes to behavioral health, trying to get them the help that they need. This all ties back to these recruiters posing as advocates for behavioral health, trauma, and addiction. The FBI has been trying to develop strategies on how to address this situation. So their plan of action is to basically to go in person, door to door. And another issue is that the Navajo Nation aren't passing investigations to the FBI. Have officers who are 200 miles away. That just kind of goes to show you what that can do to a community. It's very scary. So there is an article that was written, Stolen People, Stolen Benefits, about these recruiters. They're offering to drive people hours away to rehab or treatment centers, potentially be a financial scam. They're trying to get personal information. They are luring with alcohol and use that to keep the individual impaired. I saw a TikTok where this elderly Native American man was walking on the side of the road, and this car had pulled over, and they told him to get into the vehicle, so he did. And this bystander stopped, it was a Navajo man, and asked him in Navajo, hey, like, where are you going, and trying to get more information. And they're like, oh, we're trying to get him, I forget, but I'll have to post a TikTok.
Some that's not good. What? You guys keep on moving. Leave my chair alone. What? Go. Before I call the cops. You don't need to be abducting people off the road. Go.
No, that's what's deaf.
Oh. Are they asking you to go somewhere? All right, check.
I put the deaf in my car.
Then why is my chair getting in your truck?
Ooh, what? I just come from...
Che, don't go with them. Hey, you all gonna get in trouble, fool.
It's fine, whatever. Because I do business, I have to plan.
They're taking you to a safe house, aren't they? They said they're gonna take you somewhere safe, no?
Okay. I have my business card. If you have any question, call me. Okay?
I can print business cards for $50, my friend. So
Okay.
it's no biggie.
Here you go.
I don't need that card.
Okay. Thank you. Leave it together, man.
They're- Hey,
These people, huh?
yeah, these are the
You
people.
motherfuckers better get out of here, man. I put the message in my car.
Che, come on, Che.
Come on, Che. Hey, you open door, yes? Yeah. Okay, if you want it, you can go. Choice. You open door, yes? Hey, there's nothing in it. Hey. Leave it together, man. Go.
And just how that man was so willingly able to get into the car, it was pretty scary. So what is being done to address this? Since New Mexico does have tribal lands, Senator George Munoz has sent a letter to Governor Michelle Grisham for an executive order that will require these recruiters to contact family or any official of the Navajo Nation with location and treatment center information, and also ensures that the individual will get transportation home after treatment. I have never heard of that. I've never heard of recruiters of any mental health resources reaching out to the community in that way. I think that community outreach from these mental health resources would be a great thing to do, but to have these people pretend to do that, it's pretty messed up, and that's how a lot of people are going missing. These recruiters are also promising a place to stay in exchange for food, and if anybody ever approaches you or anyone that you know saying something like this, that's a red flag. There is an individual, her name is Reva Stewart, and someone close to her was affected by these recruiters and that sort of situation. Started her own research and data recording and just found that there was just little to no information about people who were last seen and going missing. On Friday, May 5th, was the National Day of Awareness for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women. A lot of people did march the Navajo Nation's capital. Quite a few people who wore yellow or red to support MMIW, as well as Stolen People, Stolen Benefits. So there's two movements that are happening right now. There are advocates for these movements for people of the community to reach out to tribal leaders with concerns. So going back to these potential financial scams, I think the main thing is to just be aware and educated on these movements, especially Stolen People, Stolen Benefits, telling other people by word of mouth even that this is happening, and to not get into any vehicles, people that you don't know or don't feel safe in, even if they're smiling or body language is like welcoming and friendly. Don't trust anybody. There is another individual by the name of Jonathan Yazzie. He had a family member who was abducted from the Window Rock flea market and was taken to a drug rehab in Phoenix. He says that his family member was told that a person would be providing drinks, and after agreeing, these people kept the person intoxicated and impaired. The people who had taken his family member actually ended up calling him and let them know where the family member would be located. Jonathan Yazzie went to the Navajo Nation Police Department because he was able to speak with his family member briefly and actually spoke to him in Navajo and was trying to get more information. And once the those people was caught on, they took the phone from him. Jonathan Yazzie was told by the Navajo Nation police that they could not do anything because this situation was happening off the Navajo Nation. This is why there was nothing that they could do. And also said that it was the person's fault for getting into the vehicle with people he didn't know. Something as serious as being lured for treatment, the promise of alcohol. Jonathan Yazzie got a hold of the people who had his family member, and the person said that, "I don't care, he's going to die." And he, as is referring to Mr. Yazzie's family member. After that, 3 other guys ended up going missing, and one is still missing to this day. And another guy who was with his relative, his body was found outside of Phoenix, and his body was just dumped somewhere. Mr. Yazzie said that from what his relative told him, the drug rehab facilitators are after insurance information. Mr. Yazzie went to the Indian Health Services Division of Behavioral Health and to Arizona Healthcare Cost Containment System, where he was told personnel were aware of the problem. And then Mr. Yazzie said that nothing was done about it. He is one of the advocates that's encouraging people of the community to speak up about this issue because people's safety is at risk. Mr. Yazzie said, quote, "This is pretty big and we need our tribe to step up and do something because we're one of the largest tribes down here. It's like, what do we have to do to get it out when we've notified our government officials?" Navajo Nation Police Department, they are aware of this situation about being picked up by these recruiters, and I thought it was important to kind of speak up on this situation because I understand, like, there's so many crazy stuff going on in the world right now, and this is just adding another thing to the plate. But the message needs to get out there. If we keep going missing, something needs to be done about it. More surveillance, more security. I will be back next week with another case. If you watch this video and by any chance like are talking to your friends or something, be like, "Hey, you know, I was reading about this situation that's happening in New Mexico and Arizona where there are over 200 Native Americans missing on the Navajo Nation. 200 people. Where are they?" Thank you for giving me a little bit of your time, and I hope that you have a nice day, and please take care of yourself and stay safe out there. Stay vigilant and trust your instincts and just be aware. So thank you so much again, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye.